For these next two, the top one is called a lift. It's probably one of the hardest ones to get on the paper. I'm gonna use, there's hardly any blue. I want you to see I never give up on this paint. I'm lifting as much as I can out of here and carrying it over to the tray. Look, I'm like, let me, come on, blue. Get it out of the corner, try not to mess the brush up. I'm lifting it, holding it in the brush, carrying it over. Okay. This type of watercolor is pigment mixed with gum arabic, and that's what holds it compressed in that little square. Sometimes it's an oval. Sometimes some of my advanced students have tube watercolors, but I always like these. Maybe it's what my dad let me use when I was little, but I always like these. Okay, so again, I'm gonna wet this again. This time though, my water's a little lavender. It's not gonna really hurt anything, but I'm gonna wet it and let it go. I'm gonna wet this and let it go. I have a problem setting the camera up right. I hope you can see it. Then on this one, this is a little tricky. You have to have the paper towel. A lift is like if you needed to make a highlight in something, the edge of a tire, a highlight in a bush, a highlight on a car. So I'm going to use the lavender again for this one. Okay, so I'm gonna do it all over. You want it to be fairly dark. You don't want this one to be super dark, but you don't want it to be light or you won't see the lift. So I'm just letting it go. Okay? And if you see a difference in mine, I am saving the watercolor paper, so I'm just using drawing paper, and I do not have watercolor paper like you have taped on your boards. Makes a difference. So while it's still wet, I'm gonna take the brush and I'm gonna lift it. I'm gonna press it down. Sometimes I put my finger on it to press it, lift it up. Sometimes I get it wet. I'm gonna do another one. I'm trying to lift. I don't like that it's still lavender. I'm lifting. And what you're looking to do is just to lift the pigment off the paper. That's all. Just show me. That will be enough right there. I'm going to keep going just so I can see my brush is tiny. My finger probably lifted more than the brush did. I'll lift one from right here in this dark spot. But you're trying to show that you can lift. It's almost like using an eraser, but you're trying to lift the paint off the paper in case you had a highlight or a reason to make it white, because there's no white in our watercolors. So that's a lift. That's not terribly unsuccessful. This one's already wet. This is going to be our sky. I'm going to add a little lavender to this blue I pulled over. On this case, I know I'm going kind of fast. You're going to have to leave the white area. I lifted the white. This, I'm going to leave the white area. So I'm going to make a cloud there. Go around it. I'm leaving a cloud here. You're not having any white, so there's a cloud. I'm making clouds by what? Leaving the area white. Hopefully your paper is better than mine. So this is what we call a lift. This is what we call the sky. I'm gonna take this big brush just for curiosity. If you have a big brush at home, you might get lift more with that. I think you gotta do it fast. See, now it's already too late. But I have evidence of a lift. I have evidence of a cloud. I have a graded wash here, and I have a flat. That's questionable, but it's supposed to be flat. And then a line study here. So I'm going to show you a couple that some other people did. I'm not going to show you the bottom yet. I'm just going to show you the top. So I have this one. There's her flat. There's her graded. You do not take it off the board for days because it flattens out nice like this after it dries. Her lift is remarkable. And there she does one little cloud. Looks like a haystack. You don't put the names on it until after the tape is up. The whole thing is done, and then you have to label each one. But don't worry about that yet. This is her flat. This is her graded, which is excellent. Sorry that I'm showing you, not showing you. Her lift, she did a light color, so her lift, I can see where she lifted it. And then there's where she made a cute little cloud. See how this one worked. This is an excellent flat. This is a very nice graded from dark to light. It can go light to dark. There she did kind of like I did. She made a whole series, almost looks like popcorns, where she was lifting the paint from the paper. And then that's her, sorry, my cord is in the way. That's her cloud right here. So all I'm asking you to do is take your time. Take your time and work on the top part of the board. I would do this in one sitting. Next time you go, you might do these two. Remember, they have to be wet first and then work on them. And these, you could do these at the same time, but I don't know if I'd do all 4 of them together. My paper's not watercolor, so that's up to you. All right, I hope it works out for you. Good luck. Take your time. You only have 1 sheet of watercolor paper. You can do it.